Friends, here our concepts are how to execute a shell script from another shell script and how to access variables which are defined in another file. Let me explain them one by one. So before that, let me give my requirement. Actually on my host I have HTTPD and Tomcat. Now I have to create two shell scripts for HTTPD and two shell scripts for Tomcat. They are just to start and stop HTTPD and Tomcat. Anyway, by default, you're having some commands on your host for service. I mean HTTPD service and Tomcat service. But I want to create my own commands by using them. I mean, I want to write my own shell script to start HTTPD and to stop HTTPD, same way for Tomcat. Let me take the names to start HTTPD and to stop HTTPD. The same way, suppose I want to take shell script as start tomcat.sh and then stop tomcat.sh. Fine. Now first let me give the commands. Suppose here my HTTPD, first let me take status for that. Anyway, it is not running. Now I want to start that through commands first. Simply I can run start. But whenever if you are running any commands with systemctl, then you should be the root or you should have a root privileges. Anyway, for my user I am having root privileges. That's fine. And friends, here I am using systemctl because my Linux is RHEL 7. If your Linux is less than 7, then use service command. Now simply I am using sudo systemctl start HTTPD. Done. Now find the status. For status you no need to apply sudo. Yes, it is running. The same way I want to stop it, then simply stop. Then find the status. Fine, they are working, right? Now let me take these two commands and let me create a script for your start HTTPD and stop HTTPD. Now I will write scripts here itself. Suppose, yeah, very first one is shebang line. So anyway, on my host I have my bash in this location. Then just to start your HTTPD, we are using sudo systemctl start HTTPD. That's it. Now same way for stop. User bin bash sudo systemctl stop HTTPD. That's it. Now we done our own commands to start and stop HTTPD. Now let me create these scripts on my host and we'll verify that. So here I am writing, so let me create some directory. So I am creating my working directory. Then let me move into that. Sorry. Now here I am creating start httpd.sh. So simply fine, that is for start. Now let me write stop httpd.sh and let me paste, and here it is stop. Fine. Now let me provide the execution permissions for these two files. Now see that we have a execution permission for these two files. Now instead of systemctl, because already I used them in my scripts, let me know the first status of HTTPD. Now I am using start http.sh. Now find the status. Yes, it's running. Now let me run stop script. Now see the status. Done. So our shell scripts are working. That's fine. The same way we have to create shell scripts for Tomcat as well. Now before going to do that, let me navigate into my Tomcat. So here under bin location, I have a command called startup.sh, and if I run that, your Tomcat will starts. Now see that ps-ef pipeline grep Tomcat. Now it's running. Suppose if I want to stop it, shutdown.sh. That's it. Now if you find the status, see that now Tomcat is not running. And be clear, our commands are there in this location. What is that location? In this location we have our commands. Now if you want to run your startup.sh and shutdown.sh in this location, you are running /. But if you want to run from any other location, we know that we have to provide complete path. Now let me take complete path here. Now let me write first shell script to start your Tomcat. First thing, our shebang line, that is, if on your host you will have your bash in bin location, directly you can write /bin bash. So I am writing user bin bash. Then to start your Tomcat, you have to provide complete path for your startup.sh. Let me copy this. Same way, we have to write shell script to stop Tomcat. But here to stop command is shutdown.sh. Fine. Now let me create these two scripts as well on our local host, I mean on our working directory. So our working directory, so here we are creating start tomcat.sh. So simply paste your syntax. Same way, stop tomcat.sh. Now let me copy this thing. Fine. Now anyway they will work. Let me try with that. First I am you have to provide execution permissions, right? So I am providing for all files execution permissions. Fine. Now let me run start tomcat.sh and see the result. ps-ef pipeline grep tomcat. It's up and running. Now let me stop them. Stop Tomcat. Now if you find the status, it is not running. That's fine. Now our concept. That concept is how to execute a shell script from another shell script. Actually, we have separate shell script to start Tomcat and HTTPD. Now I have one more requirement. That requirement is with single shell script, I need to stop or start both the services, Tomcat and HTTPD. Then instead of writing your code again, simply call those two scripts. Now let me do that. So I am writing start HTTPD and tomcat.sh. Now let me write the very first one as shebang line user bin bash. Now friends, if you want to run this shell script from the current location itself, then directly you can write this shell script inside of your shell script without providing complete path. Now if you want to run this shell script from the different location, then you have to provide complete path for this. Now let me show you that one by one. Suppose to start I am taking start http.sh. Yeah, directly I will write. See, your shell scripts to start and stop Tomcat and your shell script to start your Tomcat and HTTPD are there in the current location. That's why simply I can write / start httpd.sh and then / start tomcat.sh. So before running our shell script, you have to provide execution permission. Let me provide for all files. Fine. Now before running our shell script, let me check the status. Systemctl status httpd. It is not running. Then let me find the status for Tomcat as well. Not running. Now I am running our shell script called start httpd and then tomcat.sh. So using single shell script, you are running through scripts which are there inside of that. That's it. Now let me find the status. Yes, it's running. And let me find the status for Tomcat. Yes, it's running. That's it. But suppose if you want to create your start Tomcat http.sh and stop Tomcat http.sh in the different location, then you have to provide complete paths for your shell scripts. So as of now, this script and this script both are there in the current location. That's why simply I am writing /. let me come back to my home directory, and before that let me list the files. Now here I am creating, suppose, stop httpd tomcat.sh, and in this location, suppose, be clear. If I run in this way, suppose stop httpd.sh and /stop tomcat.sh, they won't work because they are not in the current location. Let me provide the execution permission. Let me try that so that you can understand. So I am running. See that? No such file or directory, these two. Actually, they are in the different location. That's why whenever if you want to run your scripts from the different location, you have to provide always complete path. So it's better to provide always complete path. Now let me copy this path and provide these two paths. I mean this path for two shell script which are there in your stop http.tomcat.sh. That's it. That's it. Now I can run and it will work. Now it has been executed. Now let me check the status of your Tomcat, not running, and status of your httpd systemctl status, not running. That's it. So guys, here what I did, I executed one shell script in another shell script. Be clear. That's it. Fine. Then what is our next concept? How to access variables which are defined in another file. Let me show you that. See, it is very different. I mean, just small difference between how to execute a shell script from another shell script and how to access variables from another file or another shell script. Now, first of all, I am creating one file called 1.sh or any extension. Generally, most of the cases will take sh. Suppose in this file, if it is a text file, no need to write shebang line. If it is shell script, you have to write shebang line. Now, just assume that I am writing shebang line for this, and I am creating a variable. Let's say name equals to, I am writing simply first shell script, and let me save this, and let me create second shell script 2.sh. Then here I want to access the variables which are defined in first shell script 1.sh. Then how you can? As of now, you know how to execute one shell script into another shell script, right? Now, first let me provide the execution permissions for your first shell script. Now, you have to provide execution permissions for second shell script as well. Now I am running second shell script. You are not getting an output because you don't have any echo command in your first shell script or in second shell script. Now, let me try just by echoing this variable name in a second shell script. Just I am writing echo $name and see the result, whether you are getting your output or not. Be clear. We are displaying the variable from second shell script, but our variable is defined in first shell script. Then is it giving your data or not? Just check it. It's not giving. The reason is, you may think that we are executing this shell script here. Whenever if you are executing any shell script within the another shell script, then it will create first of all a new shell internally, and inside that shell it will execute, and inside that shell your variable is defined, not in the current shell. That's the reason you are not getting the variable which is there in your first shell script. So now if you want to access variables which are defined in any another file from the current shell script, then you have to source your first file. It may be shell script or it may be a text file. Sourcing is nothing but there is a command called source. Now see the result. You are getting not only shell script, you can store your variables in any file or without any extension also. Let me do one thing. my variables. Just I am writing without any extension, and here simply I am writing x equals to some 10 and y equals to some 45. You can write anything. And I want to access these variables from my second shell script. Then what you have to do? Open your second shell script. If your shell script and your variables file, if both are in the same location, simply you can write source dot slash what is the file name? Let me copy this. Source space dot slash. Then let me display echo the x is, so I am getting this x value from my variables file. Echo the y is $y. Now let me run our shell script and see the result. Yes, you are getting. And one more thing, we have one more syntax. Instead of source, you can also use simply dot. Both are same. Dot space dot slash my variables. When you are using dot slash, that file is there in the current location from where you are running your shell script. But if it is in a different location, you have to provide complete path instead of dot slash. Let me do one more thing so that you can understand. Suppose here I am creating one file called demo, and here I am writing demo equals to this is from demo file. I define a variable inside of a file called demo, and which is there in the different location called this one. Now we have our shell script 2.sh here, right? Now I want to access the variable which is there in this demo file. And don't get confused. I used demo as a file name, and inside of that I have taken variable as demo. You can take anything. Now let me take this complete path, because the demo file is there in the different location. And if you are getting confusion, always just use complete path. Source or dot you can use, then complete path for your file. Now let me remove all these things. I will do one thing. I will keep them as it is. At the end, I will display, because I will share this for your practice purpose. Demo. Now see the result. Yes, you are getting. This is from demo file. I use source. You can also use dot. Dot means, or source means, in this file, please get that information from this file. In the current shell script, get the information which is there in this file. That's it. So I commented with the hash symbol. So we'll discuss that in the next video. What is the usage of hash? As of now, hash means just assume that that line is not there in the shell script. Now this is your shell script, and I am running that, and see the result. Yes, you are getting. So simply guys, you can use either source or dot, and be clear, you can use this if your current shell script and your this file, if both are in the same location. If they are in the different location, please provide complete path. That's it. So that is the simple usage of these two concepts. Okay, thank you.